All right, ladies and gentlemen, today we are doing a weapons tier list. I did one of these when the game first came out a while ago, but since then, there's been multiple patches. The meta has changed. Some guns got better and some guns aren't as good as I thought they were. But yeah, let's just get into this. This did get a buff recently, so it is better than what it was, but it's not as good as what I thought it was. In the last tier list, I ranked this really high, and I ranked it too high. So even though this got a buff since then, it's not as good as I thought it would be. But it's still decent. I'm gonna put it at B tier. Lights, at the start of the game, seemed a lot more dominant. So a lot of the weapons seemed better to me. But with the meta changing and people realizing how good the recon is, getting that close with a pistol is kind of not really an option. So I think just other guns are better than it. The Uzi, it is mostly a close range weapon. I wouldn't even use it at medium or long range, definitely not long range, but it has a lot of bullets and that really helps. It got buffed 2 patches ago, and last patch it got a recoil buff, so it's way easier to use. It's probably the easiest gun to use. It does a good amount of damage. I think it's a great weapon. I'm gonna put it at A tier. Actually, I will be lowering these down one. I think I'm gonna put the silenced pistol at C tier and the Uzi at B tier. The sniper, so the sniper almost never is good. There's some points where it's like super useful. When you're using the sniper, you're taking a gamble on which points you will have impact on or not. And most of the time, you just won't have impact. Sometimes you get lucky and cash out will spawn outside, but a lot of times it's not great. So I'm gonna put it at D tier. All right, the XP54. A lot of people like this gun. A lot of people like this gun. I haven't really found a lot of success with this gun. I feel like in a lot of situations, if your aim is just better, then this gun is better. XP54 kind of hasn't been touched since pretty much the start of the game. So I'm hesitant to rank this higher, but I want to just because a lot of people like the gun. I'm assuming because it has a scope, but the range, even though it has a scope, the range isn't that much more. So personally, I know some people might disagree with this, but personally, I'm gonna put it at B tier. These two are very similar to me. It just depends on your playstyle, which one you like more. Because I feel like they can bring out very similar impact. There's not a huge difference between them. So the knife, F tier. It's really hard to bring value out of it if someone has a knife. I mean, when I put things on F tier, obviously you can use them, but you have to practice with them. You have to specialize in this weapon. But if you're just picking up light, like, no. Don't use that. Don't use most melees. Okay, so this gun just got buffed. This is the LH1. I actually just made a video like kind of about this. I'm gonna make another video soon. It got buffed. It got a 2 damage buff. Now it does like 49 damage, I think. But I even thought it was good before. I think it's a great weapon. It does a crap ton of damage. I think this is the only weapon in the light kit that can actually be on par with the FCAR. The only problem with the LH1, it's really hard to use. The kickback is crazy and uncontrollable. Like, if you were trying to use this without a custom crosshair, it would kind of be impossible. You use a custom crosshair and you like get good at this weapon, it's pretty good. I hesitate to put it in S tier, but I feel like I want to. But I'm gonna hold myself back a bit and put it at A tier. If this weapon was on medium, it would be S tier, but it's on light, so it's tough. All right, the shotgun. This did get nerfed, which I didn't think it needed a nerf, but it did get nerfed in the recent patch. It only has 2 bullets. It takes a while to reload. So basically, you're banking on being the assassin, which I don't think is too out of meta right now. Like, I think assassin is very possible. It's a very possible playstyle. It's hard to do. It's very hard to do because like the light kick makes you want to be an assassin with recon in the game and like other things. It kind of makes it really hard to, but I think it's still doable. It does a crap ton of damage. So I'm gonna put it at C tier. The shotgun is definitely more usable than the sniper, but I don't think it's on par with these two. So I'm gonna put it at C tier. All right, the sword. The sword, I've seen some crazy things with the sword. I think it's pretty good. But it's a melee weapon, so you can specialize with it, but it's really hard to get value out of. I kind of just want to put it on D tier. It's better than this. So I'm gonna put it at D tier. It's better than the knife because of the movement. You just get more movement, which is cool. So I don't think it's absolutely terrible. It's better than the sniper, but worse than the shotgun. All right, the throwing knives. These are very hard to use. They do a crap ton of damage. They're very, very hard to use and very hard to be consistent with. Like, they are probably like 10 times harder than the LH1 is to use. It's worse than the shotgun, better than the sword, I think. The light kit is just very odd, very oddly put together. All right, we have the shield and baton, F tier. I mean, there's not really much I have to say about that. You are very slow on medium. You try to run around and smack people for like a third of their HP, but like most people get away with it or just kills you before you can do any damage to them. So it's not good compared, like everything else might be better on the medium kit. You're wasting so much potential if you take this stupid shield. They need to buff it, like make it so you can attack while holding the shield up or something. Honestly, I would do a siege thing and just change this to a pistol with a shield. It's just not it's not good at all. The shotgun, this is called the model 1887. It's basically not a shotgun. You're basically shooting 7 slugs at a person. I've seen it be useful, but someone can just out aim you if you're in the open medium range. But if you're behind cover and stuff, then you have the potential of beating someone with the FCAR AK, but I just think on average, it is average. It's C tier. It's better than knives though. Okay, the FCAR. Everyone says this gun needs a nerf. I don't really, I mean, I'll be fine with it getting a nerf, but I think it's at an okay spot. I don't really think it needs a nerf. I would be fine with it losing a little bit of damage and gaining some bullets, because I just hate playing with 20 bullets. It just feels really odd. Yeah, I think it's definitely good. It's S tier. It gives you everything you want. It gives you that high DPS. It gives you the close range. It gives you the long range. Damage fall off is very minimal. It's just a great gun for the medium kit, and you would pick it over basically everything. By no means is other things like less useful, but this is definitely the king of all guns in the game right now. If you ask someone what the best gun in the game is, it would be the FCAR. It has the easiest recoil. It has arguably the best ADS in the game. The only downside to the FCAR is it doesn't have a lot of ammo, so you will be reloading a lot. AK, I'll put it at A tier. It's a great all-around weapon. I actually think that you want an AK on your team. If you're running 3 mediums, you want 2 FCARs and an AK, just because the AK can put out that consistent damage, and FCAR is more of a burst. But for breaking shields and shit, I think the AK kind of rules. It kind of depends who you're going against, but having like 1 or 2 AKs on your team is very cool, but it is harder to use than a lot of guns. The recoil and kick it are crazy. I mean, if a person with the AK and a person with FCAR with perfect aim got in a duel, the FCAR would win 9 times out of 10, but most fights don't go that way. So I think having like 1 or 2 AKs on your team would be really good. So I don't think it's as good as the FCAR, but it's definitely one of the best. Okay, the Revolver was S tier for me a while ago, but kind of the same problem as the FCAR. It lacks bullets. So I'm going to put it at B tier because I wouldn't want it over the AK, but it's high B tier. It's pretty good. If you had an FCAR, AK, and a Revolver on a team, that would be good, but 3 FCARs on a team wouldn't be bad, and 3 AKs on a team wouldn't be bad, but 3 Revolvers on a team would probably be bad. So that's why that's on B tier. Okay, the grenade launcher. Why the fuck do people use this shit? Okay, in my last tier list, someone did mention to me that this is good for breaking utility on point and stuff. So it is good for that. You can break like mines and stuff, like behind corners and turrets behind corners. It does AoE damage, so it's okay, but I wouldn't use it over anything. It does no damage to people. It does fucking nothing. You can just stand in front of one and just smack. I honestly think that this, you can literally just run up to them and start meleeing them, and they can't. You would win that 1v1. It does a good amount of damage on a direct hit, but the amount of times you're gonna hit a direct hit is very low. So I'm gonna put it at, I want to put it at F tier, but the utility you get from it, I guess it's D tier. I guess. I'm angry about that one. All right, the M60. I actually like this gun a lot more than other people do, I think. I think it's a little bit underestimated. I think the Lewis gun it might be a better option, but I think the M60 is definitely a good option. It did get buffed in the latest patch, so I think it's pretty good. It's like the FCAR and the AK, right? This is the FCAR and this is the AK. So I do think it's A tier. Actually, I think it's B tier. It has a low DPS, but it has a lot of damage output. Low DPS, high damage output. Like if you're running 2 heavies, you would go Lewis gun M60 and then have an FCAR with healer or an AK healer. Because that's a crap ton of damage output. Since we're on the same topic as the Lewis gun and M60, I think the Lewis gun is A tier. For some reason, I feel uncomfortable doing this. I feel uncomfortable putting this S tier and this A tier. I don't know why, but that just seems off. I don't think the guns are that good. Yeah, I just don't feel comfortable putting these here, but I do think the M60 is right below the Lewis gun. Yeah, the M60 has 70 bullets and the Lewis gun has 47. That's a lot of bullets that the M60 has over the Lewis gun. I think these are pretty interchangeable just because they both have a lot of bullets, but it's situational. If you know you're going against like 3 heavies, definitely I think I would go for the M60 just because it has a shit ton of ammo and can burn through shields more. But other than that, I think the Lewis gun always takes the cake. Okay, sledgehammer, S tier. A flamethrower, it did get buffed in this recent patch. I was kidding about the fucking sledgehammer, by the way. It's I think I said this last time. I think that the only reason that this is like kind of okay is because it does damage to buildings really quickly and you can change stuff, but I don't ever see you taking it over anything else. It's a meme. It's a meme. Can we change this? Can we change this fucking meme? It's a meme thing. These two are meme things too. Meme. It's a meme weapon. I mean, seriously though, if I were to rank this, I'd put it at D tier. I would put it at D tier, but it's a meme. It is a meme weapon. Same with these two. Okay, the flamethrower. It did get buffed. It is good at clearing buildings, but I've never died from the flamethrower or like went against the flamethrower and like, damn, that's strong. It goes through shields though, for some reason. It goes through shields. I guess that kind of makes sense. It does more damage. I think it went up like 2 damage. Yeah, and it increased from 28 damage to 30. It does a good amount of damage, is lingering damage too, because it catches you on fire. And it kind of gets rid of one of the most used utilities right now, which is gas. It gets rid of gas because it lights it on fire. So I think there's utility and damage dealing factors to take into consideration, which make it better than what it was before. It's very situational. It depends on what your team is. Like if your team has enough damage output far range to support this, it will be fine. Like you need sustain. You need a lot of sustain when you're running with flamethrower. You need like a healer that's always sticking with you and a medium doing insane output damage, or another heavy helping with sustain. So I think it's very situational. I think it's a niche. It's a niche thing. So I'm gonna put it at C tier, but I believe it could be better. It's very niche. Okay, the shotgun. It did get nerfed recently. I think it's similar. My first reaction is to put it B tier. That's my first reaction. I think it's similar to the flamethrower because it's so close range, but it doesn't have as much utility as the flamethrower, but it does a crap ton of damage. I mean, it does less damage now because it got nerfed. My first instinct is to put it here, but this is very on the edge of C tier. Like, I would be fine putting it here too. But I think the damage output is really good, but this is also situational. You can't just go into a game with a shotgun and expect to win. So I think there's a place for it. I'm gonna put it at C tier just because that makes me the most comfortable. All right, the MGL. MGL kind of has the same diff as this one. They're both grenade launchers, but it has more ammo. I think it has a higher DPS and it does the same thing, but I think this is also niche. It's in your everyday game. I don't think that it competes with the M60 just because shield meta is a thing, but it is AoE and stuff. So yeah, it's a niche pick, definitely a niche pick. But yeah, there it is. There's my tier list. Anyway, I appreciate you all for watching. Peace out.